Hi, my name's Holly Martin, and I'm here to give you a little history about the Model R that I'm sitting in, which belonged to my dad. It came on the back of a trailer as a big pile of rust when I was about 14 years old, and that was around 30 years ago. My dad always had a great fascination with steam. There was always some kind of steam toy or donkey engine or steam engine in or around our house growing up. I remember when he got the steam car and brought it home on the trailer, and he was so excited. We had many old cars before that, and life changed for him that day because there was only one car that he ever wanted to ever restore again, and that was this one. He was pretty well smitten with his Stanley steam car. It took about 10 years to restore, and after that 10 years, he began driving it, entering it in various concours and car shows, winning a lot of car shows. But his favorite car show he probably ever won was the first time he won a People's Choice Award and beat out all the muscle cars for that award. It was really important to him. Then he started doing parades with his grandkids, and beyond that, started testing and seeing how fast he could make this Stanley go. Using some different fuel experiments, not your gasoline diesel mix, he started having the fenders removed, where we'd take the fenders off, and doing hill climbs. He added a speedometer to the car and just seeing how far he could push it. I have been in the car going down the 10 freeway in LA doing 65 miles an hour in this vehicle, which is 100 years old this year. And it's quite thrilling. No seatbelts. Riding in a vehicle that travels on nothing but fire and boiling water. Whenever my dad took this car to a car show or a concours, he spent all of his time teaching people and educating people about the Stanley Brothers invention. He always had the car running. It's like a silent little locomotive when it sits here, and he just got so much enjoyment out of educating people, and the questions and the funny comments, or questions, things like, what kind of water does it run on? And my dad said, well, Avion, Crystal Geyser, things like that. He always had those funny little jokes to entertain people with. He spent a great deal of time and love restoring this car. And he put so much into it. And he wanted to give so much back with it as well. In 1998, my dad brought his R up for the Steamin' Through the Rockies car tour. He enjoyed the town of Estes Park so much. He was excited about the potential of the carriage house being restored up at the Stanley Hotel. I think he had a small dream, and that was to see Stanleys tooling around Estes Park the way they did about 100 years ago. In 1999, my dad passed away suddenly of a heart attack. And I walked out into the garage with this beautiful Model R sitting there. Unfortunately, I am a driver, not an operator, and I didn't have the knowledge, nor do I have the knowledge, to maintain a car like this. Sat down, looked at the car, and decided where would be the best place for this vehicle to go. And I decided with my family there would be no better place than to return the car to Estes Park as a working exhibit. So we donated her to the Stanley Museum on the condition that it would be maintained, and in the spring and the summer would spend its time being driven in this little town of Estes. I could think of nothing better, and I could think of no better place for this car to be, carrying on what he did and educating people and causing jaws to drop as it passed silently down the road. And here we are 100 years later, and she's still going, and she's still beautiful, and she's very well cared for and loved, and it is such an important part of this valley, and to be able to contribute that and to carry on the legacy that it has been this car for the last 100 years is quite wonderful. Hopefully someday the carriage house will be restored. There'll be a nice little machine shop in the back. There'll be a couple of Stanleys, and when the snow melts, this car will roll out and continue to teach generations about steam and the Stanley brothers and the importance of Estes Park.